Okay, so quick overview of how I use QuillBot to do some paraphrasing. The first that I usually do is go here into that window, click on paste text. There's already a text here. And as you can see here, it's got a few features. You can hit paraphrase, you can hit the freeze words button. It'll show you your character and word count. What I usually do is I try to shorten the text. A lot of the times that's the default I go to. So if I hit paraphrase here, you'll see it shortens the text, which is super nice. And you got the different modes that you can go through. Standard paraphrasing, it's just using different paraphrases, and then you can adjust how many synonyms you want in there. So then you hit rephrase, different synonyms here. It even gives you like a little statistic where you can go through the different ones. You can hit fluency. Fluency is really nice when I'm writing video scripts and I want everything to sound a little bit more fluid. And then I just submit fluency here. Formal, if you do some sort of formal writing, if you do formal letter writing, you're feeling it's a little bit too casual, that's where you do that. Academic is absolutely hilarious. It'll turn the text into something that's pretty much non-readable. If I were to write my academic papers like that, we'd have a problem. But if you want to write an academic sounding letter, like a reference letter or something like that, then this is super helpful. And that's pretty much the only places I've used that. I've definitely not used it to do academic writing for papers because I find it's very, very stiff. It doesn't really sound great. Simple is when you're trying to explain something very simply. It's this whole like write like a fifth grader situation, or write like, you know, at fifth grade level so that you can understand it better. So it's really good for writing on X or Twitter if you want to do really quick things. Creative, I really haven't used much. It's more creative writing. Expanding, I have a different program I use for that, so I don't really do that with QuillBot, but sometimes it's kind of nice. But usually you just do that with Notion AI, where I just have a short paragraph in Notion and get it to expand the text. But Shorten is really one of my favorites, where I just get to shorten everything. And then you can click such things like here, you can click through the words and you basically have a built-in Thesaurus where you can just select all the different word alternatives, which is kind of nice. You get a little definition here as well, which is awesome. Yeah, so that's how I use it. And then you just click on it and you get the different definitions here. And it's super helpful. Another thing that you can do is custom phrasing, readable by a fifth grader. So then you have it a little bit easier, a little bit simpler even than the simple one. And you can play around with that. You know, you can give it Flesch Reading-Ease scores or Kincaid scores or other things here. Just any short prompt that will let it rewrite. But sometimes, let's say you're writing an academic paper and you want to shorten it. And let's say you have a definition in there, an academic definition that you don't want to be changed. You hit freeze and you got the freeze button. And then every time it does the rephrasing, it actually freezes the one thing that you want to be kept in there. So we hit this as well. We see period of time has not actually, oh, it's right here. Period of time has not actually been changed. So that's kind of useful. I'll dive a little bit more into this in the tweet, in the Twitter thread below, but those are pretty much the main use cases. So hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for listening.